LA protesters were met with military force, but January 6 rioters walked away with pardons.
But did President Trump pardon everybody?
I guess he did.
Yes, he did.
I
don't know.
think he did.
I could give you the news articles if you don't know. He did. People who violently attacked men and women of law enforcement up here, who were protecting the lives of every member serving then and all the staff up here. Yeah, he pardoned every one of them.
This week, Democrats exposed Trump's double standard in a chilling congressional hearing. Here's how they connected the dots. Congress took up a resolution condemning the June protests in Los Angeles. The language was forceful, calling it a riot, accusing protesters of violence and demanding a federal crackdown.
This resolution condemns the violent riots in Los Angeles, California. Individuals have engaged in arson, looting, personal property destruction, vandalism, and assault of law enforcement officers. Meanwhile, the hardworking men and women at ICE have ensured that dangerous criminal aliens are removed from Los Angeles streets.
They're taking to the streets to do damage. They're not just trying to have their voices heard. There are serious issues going on and serious damage and rioting. We can once again underline our support for law and order.
Burning cars have a price, broken windows have a price, breaking and looting buildings, businesses have a price. Peaceful protest, it's just not true. Los Angeles does not have a strict punishment or consequences for it, and that's why you have all this.
A lot of the flags I saw were not American flags being waved in California. And so I think the president acted duly. He brought in the National Guard and he got the situation under control. So I think the president did the right thing.
But Democrats pushed back. They called it manufactured outrage and pointed to the hypocrisy. If we're condemning violent protests, they asked, why not start with the people who stormed the Capitol waving Confederate flags?
I wish the president had done the right thing on January 6th. I was here that day. Want to see pictures of broken windows and destroyed property? And when all is said and done, not only did the president not do the right thing, but when he got the chance, he pardoned everybody. And you talk about flags that were being waved, there were Confederate flags being waved that day. No one seemed to have any problem with that. I find this kind of selective outrage, a little bit startling. All of us condemn violence, wherever it occurs. I think the issue in California was that the area of protest was contained. There were far more people protesting peacefully than violently, and nobody has said a word about the pardoning of all those who did destruction to this building and who beat up our police.
The difference is, when they came here, there had been violent clashes, and our own Capitol Police had been beaten, and we needed the National Guard here. We called for them. Real different in LA when they had sufficient force to handle everything. It is the Republicans who refused to put up the plaque honoring the law enforcement officers who protected us on January 6th from rioters and insurrectionists who were causing a lot of damage.
At the same hearing, Republicans advanced other bills, including one to make driving under the influence, DUI, grounds for deportation.
H.R. 875 makes common sense changes to immigration laws to make an alien who is convicted or admits to drinking and driving under the influence inadmissible.
Even though a law like this already exists.
Serious DUI convictions are already grounds to deport or refuse admission to a non-citizen. Full stop. So this bill doesn't close any gap in existing law. The problem they're trying to solve is overwhelmingly about citizen drivers.
And another bill, known as the Special Interest Alien Reports, requiring DHS to publish monthly reports on non-US nationals who attempt to enter the US unlawfully and may pose national security risks, including details on the number of individuals, their nationalities, and where they were encountered.
Over the past 4 years, Customs and Border Protection faced an unprecedented number of special interest aliens from 26 countries that the Department of Homeland Security has determined pose the greatest national security and counterintelligence threats.
DHS already has the power to publish immigration statistics. Democrats warned that forcing DHS to release these monthly reports risks exposing sensitive national security information that could lead to increased profiling of specific communities.
Although well-intentioned, this bill compromises national security, essentially giving the bad guys information to do a better job of penetrating our defenses. But let's look at the big picture. Special Interest Alien, or SIA, just means that someone's travel patterns indicate a need for further scrutiny. It does not mean someone's a terrorist or out to do harm.
Democrats warned that these bills aren't about public safety. They're about scapegoating.
And it doesn't make our country safer. It only weaponizes a problem to attack and scapegoat all immigrants.
MAGA Republicans have declared immigrants the the cause of all of our problems. Republicans are falling over themselves to introduce and pass bills to show how hard they are on immigrants, even if those bills are just restatements of existing laws.
According to the Cato Institute, 65% of people taken by ICE in the past year had no criminal convictions. And among those who did, 93% were nonviolent crimes, despite what ICE says to justify its deportation agenda. So again, is this about safety, or is it about pushing a political agenda that further targets and criminalizes undocumented people of color? Now, these bills and the resolution condemning the LA protests are moving to the House floor. This hearing didn't just reveal a double standard, it revealed the playbook.
You know, we've seen Trump's playbook before from all kinds of authoritarian and dictators across the globe and across the centuries. A leader rises and claims he will take the country back to a glorified past. Instead of lowering grocery bills or raising wages, he finds a group to blame for all the economic problems. And it changes who the group is, but not the playbook. Demonize the press, undermine the courts, silence dissent.
Pay attention, speak up, and don't look away. Follow us for more updates on the latest legislative actions and their impact on our communities.